A new charity in Regina is using the power of volunteers to help survivors of domestic violence. It's called Shelter Movers, and it launched yesterday. The organization helps those fleeing to pack and move their belongings. Lisa Williams is chapter director for Regina, and Mark Hall-Jacquin is CEO for Shelter Movers. Both join me now in studio. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
And good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
So, Mark, let's start with you. What is Shelter Movers?
Well, Shelter Movers is a national volunteer-powered charity that provides free moving and free storage services to individuals and families fleeing abuse. We work with local agencies, law enforcement, businesses, and regular citizens to help families transition to a life free of violence.
And Lisa, how does it work?
So we receive referrals from organizations that are in the community working with vulnerable women. We're lucky to have a network of organizations here in Regina that are able to refer us to those clients. And so to have a woman come to us for her service, for these services, we will, as soon as she's ready, we will mobilize the trained and vetted volunteers and coordinate a move that's organized and dignified and safe.
What's the need for this sort of service in the city?
Yeah, the need is quite great because our shelters have quite long wait lists and are difficult to get into. And we don't want folks staying in shelters very long. We want them to be able to move to safer places that they feel comfortable in. And we want them to be able to retain their belongings. When a woman leaves her abuser, one of the most difficult choices is about leaving your belongings behind and her children's belongings. And, those are the items that really anchor you in difficult situations. And so for us to be able to help her retain those belongings is a really big deal emotionally and has a very big economic impact as well.
And Mark, I mentioned that this launched here yesterday, so it's brand new for the city. How is it working in other places?
Well, Shelter Movers is national. We operate in 10 other cities across the country. Our launch yesterday here in Regina was part of a project with the federal government. We received some funding as part of an initiative by Women and Gender Equality, who are the main funders of this opportunity to establish an office here and recruit volunteers across the city so that we can get families moving and get them to a safe place.
Lisa, for you, what does this mean as far as offering this to folks in difficult circumstances in the city?
It's a real early intervention tool. I experienced violence, and I can speak to the impact that it makes when you're leaving an abuser and have some help and to store your items. I lived in a violent household in a city that didn't have a Shelter Movers, and if you can imagine, leaving right now in the studio with what's on your back, that's kind of exactly how it happened, and turning your life around within a day and not having your items. I surrendered the items that were really special to me, like the artwork that my brother made me and a necklace from my grandma. And so these items I'll never see again. And so if I had a Shelter Movers in that moment in my life, it really would have helped. I've just recently recovered from the impact of that economically, to have to go and buy all new furniture, to have to go and buy all new belongings, to stay in hotels, and it really does impact you greatly. And so this is such a fantastic early intervention, and it helps women be able to keep their belongings.
What does it mean to you to be able to give back now to folks facing these situations?
It really, I've been working in the gender-based violence sector here in Regina, working with women and seeing the impacts of violence on their day-to-day lives and for their long-term goals and future, and for their children's future. It means so much to see someone be able to have a calm, organized, dignified, safe move rather than, fleeing in the shadows of the night in a risky situation. We know that when women attempt to leave their abuser, they are most likely to, or the chance is more that they'll be murdered. And so this is essential for saving lives as well.
And Mark, we have high rates of domestic violence, as you know, here in this province. What does it mean for you to be involved in this, to be able to help folks, as Lisa mentioned, in early intervention, to help them get their belongings, get their life, take their life with them without having to flee, as Lisa said, with just the clothes on their back?
Indeed. We know Saskatchewan has twice the rates of gender-based violence as compared to the rest of the country. When we were looking nationally as to where we would open next, Regina was an obvious opportunity, not only because of the need, but because of the enthusiastic and strong community that exists in Regina, the volunteer community and the business community coming together. I should mention that Shelter Movers operates in a very centralized way across the country. And so our team here in Regina will be integrated into how we operate right across. So best practices that we find here in Regina and the new innovation that we will surely find in Regina will benefit not only women and children here, but really families right across the country.
You mentioned, vetted folks and volunteers are needed. What can you tell us about the need for the service right now as you get to launch?
Our expectation when a new chapter opens is that they move a certain number of families in that first year. We do need about 25 to 30 volunteers. We try to recruit from people, all walks of life, obviously, for people who are willing to move, pick up boxes and pack, and drive our rental trucks. And we have great relationships with local sponsors who provide free storage, like Big Steel Box, who showed up yesterday at our launch event, who see the value that their business can provide to families in the community. Our volunteers go through very rigorous training, and they are vetted. We do background checks, police checks, and interviews, and we monitor them during the move to make sure that the people who volunteer for Shelter Movers are espousing our philosophy of service. It's about empowering the people we serve. They are the heroes of their story, and Shelter Movers and its volunteers have the privilege of being with that person in that very special moment when she makes the very courageous decision to leave with her children.
Lisa, you mentioned just a number of community groups. We've talked to many on the show here in the city that help those fleeing domestic violence, whether they be shelters or other CBOs. What do you expect the response will be from the community to the call out for volunteers and the need for this service?
Yeah, so our community partners are really excited. They're ready to go. We've talk to them and train them on the referral process. And they're sharing with their networks about, they know that they have a robust volunteer base as well, and they want to help us recruit volunteers. They know that Regina and Saskatchewan has we have such a big heart, and we all come together when it's needed. That's one of the things I love about this city is that everybody shows up when it's needed. So we know that folks will respond well to this. It really is a way for folks to give back in a way, in an uncomfortable kind of topic, in an uncomfortable space that they wouldn't before be able to be an ally with, especially men. This is a space where, men can be a real ally for a situation because domestic violence isn't just a women's issue. Obviously, it's a men's issue. And so we want men to have a space here and be an ally and to help out with the moving and driving.
And Lisa, how can people that hear this get involved? What's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
So you can go to sheltermovers.com, and there's a volunteer link on there, and you just click on Regina. And we're also going to be having a volunteer recruitment event at Pause Coffee in the early week of July. And so folks can check out our social media for more information on that. And they can sign up at our website.
Lisa, best of luck with the initiative. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.